up, you guys? Welcome back. Today I am super pumped because we're gonna be doing a different kind of video. I don't think I've ever done one of these on my channel, but we are gonna be doing a palette comparison video, and we're gonna be comparing the original Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette with her brand new remastered Rose Gold palette. So if you guys have not heard, basically this is the original Huda Beauty palette. This is the Rose Gold palette. I wanna say this came out like at least a year and a half ago. I did purchase this myself with my own money when it first came out. It was super hyped up. A lot of people were really excited about it, so I did go ahead and purchase it myself, and I always liked this palette. It probably doesn't look like that since it hasn't been used that much. I'll be completely honest with you guys. Working in this industry and getting PR and trying new stuff all the time, a lot of times older products just don't get used as much, and especially this product has been discontinued. So it was never like a staple in my collection or anything else, but I did remember liking the palette. I did do a video with the palette, and I looked back at it just before filming this, and I was like, oh, my eye look was pretty bomb there. I like it. So this palette a couple months ago was like discontinued, and then they came out with the remastered palette, which is gonna launch on the 22nd of May. So by the time you guys see this, it will probably have already launched just a couple days ago, if not today. I was kind of surprised to see that it was like redone, just because I thought that the first palette was like a really big success, because like so many people were hyped up about it, so many people talked about it, and from my personal experience, I liked it. But makeup companies do that all the time where they reformulate products, so I wasn't super surprised. I can see where if you were like me and you paid good money for the original, you kind of be like, well, what? Did I get like a not as good palette or whatever? Which I don't really think that's the case, again, because I do remember liking this palette. I was sent the remastered one in PR, but I paid my own money for the first one. It's not gonna change my opinion on, you know, the differences or whether or not this is good. So I'm basically just interested to see whether or not this palette is as good as the other one, and is it so much better that if you own the first one, you should go out and get it. So we're gonna test that out today. I'm basically just gonna do one eye with one palette, my other eye with the other palette, and like see if I see a difference. These are the outsides of them next to each other. So as you can see, the packaging has definitely been upgraded. This was the original packaging, which actually I kind of like it, how it had like the clear see-through front. It gave me like Z palette vibes, which at the time were really popular. I mean, they're still popular, but I don't know. I didn't mind this packaging, but it is kind of just like your basic like cardboard packaging. Like it's not like super luxurious, and I know this palette was not cheap. I don't remember the exact price that I paid for it, but I want to say it was right around $50. So it definitely was not cheap. It could have even been more than that, because I feel like some of her palettes are more than that. So it was probably at least $50. So with the new palette, they did upgrade the packaging. I like the picture on the front. I think it's beautiful. And then when you open it up, you do get a huge mirror, which is really, really nice. I'm gonna put these shades right next to each other. So these are the palettes right next to each other, so you can see they're very, very similar. Pretty much all the shades are similar aside from a few. You're basically just getting one additional shimmer, one less matte in the new palette, but for the most part, they're pretty much the same. To me personally, like just upgrading the packaging wouldn't be a reason to go out and get the remastered palette if you already owned the first one, but apparently they redid the formula on the eyeshadows as well, so the mattes are supposed to be much more blendable. But I don't remember the mattes in the original palette being difficult to work with, but one biggie for me is that the shadows right here, like the shimmer shadows, are supposed to be able to be applied with your finger, but also with a brush, where in her original palette, the shimmer shades were really only super pigmented if you applied them with your finger. So if you guys can look at some of the shimmer shades like this one and this one here, like you can see that I really was digging my brush into them. That is because I can't apply eyeshadow with my finger. My nails are too long, so it would just go all over my lid. So I remember like spraying my brush with Fix Plus and really kind of having to dig into the shades to get pigment, because they really were only supposed to be applied with your finger, where I think she fixed that in this palette, or at least that's what they said. You're supposed to be able to apply the shimmer shades with both a finger or a brush, which is really nice, especially for somebody like me who literally cannot use her finger, or if you just don't want to get your hands dirty. So yeah, we're gonna test it out. We're gonna see like what this is all about, and if the remastered palette is like worth it. I have two separate sets of brushes in front of me so we don't like cross-contaminate the eyeshadows on the eyes. I think I will use the remastered palette on this eye, and then I'll use the original on this one, and we'll just go from there. So we will start with the original. I'm first gonna go in with the shade Sandalwood in my crease. You know what? I'm gonna zoom you guys in so you can see. All right, so I'm gonna go in with Sandalwood from the original. I'm gonna be using the new remastered palette though, because it does have the mirror to actually look in the mirror, but I'm grabbing from the other palette. So having the mirror is already a nice upgrade, and I'm just gonna blend this into my crease. I mean, this is blending fine, like I remember it blending, but I guess there's nothing wrong with trying to like perfect something, you know? Then using a different brush, I'm gonna go in with Sandalwood from the remastered palette and use that on the other side. Oh. So this actually seems a lot more pigmented. Like I went in with the same amount of product, and it kind of like frayed out already because I had so much product on my brush when I first put it down. I didn't realize. So it does seem more pigmented. gonna try and blend that so it looks better. I did get a lot more kickback on that shade, if you guys can see like on the palette, but a lot of times with more pigmented shadows, you are gonna get that. But just something to note. So I should have known when I saw that it was gonna be more pigmented and that I didn't need as much. But it's blending out actually fine. All right, so you guys can already see with the remastered side, like that was just me putting my brush in once. It definitely has more pigment to it. I'm gonna go back on the other side and try and like build it up just so we can get them to be like the same, you know? Okay, it's building up. All right, so I was able to build up this side pretty well so that it matches. Then I'm gonna jump into the shade Maneater. It's like a really pretty kind of like burnt magenta-esque color. And I'm gonna work this into the crease. I do find it interesting that she went and redid one of her old palettes rather than just creating an entirely new palette, like with new shades and stuff. I guess there's like pros and cons to that. Like I guess she really just wanted to perfect this palette, which I don't see anything wrong with. But it's just interesting. Let me know down below what you guys think. Like, of course, we always want to see everything new and like different, but like, you know, what are your thoughts on that? Then I'm gonna go in with Maneater in the new palette, also in my crease, and blend that in there. I guess I will say, like, I don't think the mattes blend poorly on this side, but I guess they do blend nicely, a little bit easier on with the remastered palette. Is that enough if you own the first one to go get it? Like again, no. Like I don't think it's enough of a difference because like this eye isn't bad. Obviously, if you don't own the palette at all, I would definitely say get the remastered. Well, you can't even get the original one anyways, but like it's a good palette either way, but I do see them blending a bit easier on the remastered side. I will say that, at least so far in the two shades that we've used. Then in my outer corner, I'm gonna go in with Cocoa, and I'm gonna pack this on the outer corner and also just bring it in the outer crease as well, just to deepen it. This shade is like a little more like, I guess I would say drier is the right term. So hopefully in the remastered palette, it's a little bit easier to work with. Well, let's see. Ooh, yeah. Definitely, this shade is definitely more pigmented in the remastered, I would say. Definitely shows up more, if you guys can see. Now I'm gonna go ahead and actually bring that color down on my lower lash line as well, which we will do on the other side too. In looking at both eyes, you can definitely tell on the remastered sides, like the shades are just bolder. Like they're more like they pop more than they do on this side. Like both eyes look like decent, but like this one I feel like is just bolder. All right, so now what I'm really excited for is actually test out the shimmers and see if they actually like apply well with the brush. So I'm gonna go in with the shade Trust Fund, and I'm gonna wet my brush and we're gonna give it our best shot. But again, I do remember these not being amazing with the brush. Okay, so we're going in with Trust Fund from the old palette. It's very, very, very chunky. Like some shades just like don't apply well with brushes. This one just like, no. Like, I mean, you can do it, but it takes a while. I'm really hoping the remastered one is like bomb with the shimmers. That would be amazing. All right, that's like as good as I'm gonna get it. It's very, very chunky and not really, like it doesn't really look very nice. All right, I have big hopes for Trust Fund in the remastered palette. Hopefully it's bomb with a brush. I'm gonna first apply it with a dry brush, see what it looks like, and then we'll do it with a wet brush so we can see the difference. And let's pack it on. So it's way less chunky. That I can definitely say, but definitely like lackluster with no Fix Plus or anything. Yeah, like it's not crazy pigmented. So let's add some Fix Plus. Okay, I mean it builds up. It's not earth-shatteringly pigmented, to be completely honest with you guys. But it's way less chunky. Like this is like, I would never really like go like it with it looking like this. This one at least is less chunky. It's still not like, oh my God, this is the most pigmented, beautiful shadow I've ever seen. I still think it would probably look a lot better, you know, had you used your finger. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna use one of my fingers and try and shove it in there. Cause Cause like, look at how pretty it looks like on my finger. Like I want it to look like that on my lid. But it's just like really difficult when your nails are really long because then it just goes everywhere. Ooh, it does look nice though when it is applied with your finger. Oh, maybe I should cut my nails. So if you don't mind applying your eyeshadow with your finger, then girl, this would probably be bomb. But I don't think that the formulation is like, do I think it's better when it's applied with a brush with this one? Yeah, but it's still not great. It's definitely still best applied with the finger, for sure. Like it looks so much better now. It is really, really pretty though. Like, and this side is just still like very chunky, where this one at least, it's like pretty, but it's not like chunky. For highlight, I'm gonna go with the shade Moon Dust and gonna pop it on the brow bone. Ooh, this one applies well with the brush, but this is not like one of the foiled shades. It's just like a shimmer. Now this is like the only highlight brush that I can use. Like I love this brush for that. So I'm just gonna wipe it off on a makeup remover wipe. And it's from like, I got this in like a set from Walmart years ago, and I love it. It's from Eco Tools. Then I'm gonna go in with Moon Dust from the new palette. Ooh, she is pigmented. Wow. I'm gonna go pop on lashes and liner, and we will be right back to do our final thoughts. All right, so now that I did my liner and lashes, you guys can see the completed look. I do think that the eye that I did the Remastered palette with does look better. The all over the lid color is less chunky, and the mattes did blend a bit easier, and they're a bit more like boom pigmented and kind of bright than on the other side. With that being said, I don't think this eye looks that much better, to the point where if you have the original palette, I would be like, go out and get the Remastered one. I think if you have the original one, it's not like a huge difference. To me, what would have made a huge difference is if she would have reformulated the shimmer shades in this so that they look super bomb and super pigmented with a brush. I would have loved that. I still definitely think they apply best with your finger. They do apply better with a brush in the new Remastered palette, but your finger is definitely still the way to go. But overall, I do really like the palette. If you don't own the first one and you like the colors in this palette, I definitely would recommend it. And especially too, if you don't mind using your finger to apply shadow, I feel like you will love this, because the shimmers really are beautiful when they're applied with your fingers, and the mattes are great. So yeah, those are my thoughts. If you have the original, I would stick with it. I don't know that you need to go out and get the Remastered. And if you don't have either, I do think the Remastered is really nice. Let me know down below what you guys think. I would love to hear. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye.